1 of Shano Trades. I'm your host, Shano. So, why should you watch my channel? What am I presenting? What am I offering? What am I showing? So, a few years ago, I started trading, and it inspired me. It was kind of like a puzzle that I needed to solve. And over the course of the last few years, through my journey personally and in a trading capacity, I came to develop a system of trading. What the system of trading is called the Rain Man fan. You know, Open for interpretation. But anyway, what the Rain Man fan does is it uses the angular movement of a trend to identify real-time support and resistance levels. So instead of using, volume profile or, RSI, MACD, all the traditional, don't even get me started on Elliott wave theory. But anyway, these are all useful indicators, but I wanted something different, and where I landed was angles. So I'm going to shrink my silly face down and actually show you what I'm talking about. Okay, so as I was saying, the Rain Man fan, what we do is we set the Rain Man fan up at the bottom of a trend, so we can go ahead and assume on the 2-hour chart, which we're looking at for Ethereum right now, we can assume that this is the bottom of the trend. Okay, I mean, that's a long ways out. That goes all the way back to September, so too far out, but that gives you an idea of what we're looking at. I'll make some tutorial videos following this one. I just wanted to get the daily prediction out there so that I can get the feel for it. I'll go through, the software I'm using, the tools. I'll talk through them. But for now, just try to follow along. I just want to get this first video out there because it's just exciting. I'm excited. This is so fun for me. We'll get to that. But anyway, let's go ahead and we can look. This will just show the versatility of what the Rain Man fan does. So we can pick any bottom here, any bottom from top to bottom, from A to B, start to finish. Okay, that's what we're about. We're trying to find the start of a trend, point A, and end of a trend, point B, and capitalize on the movements within that A to B to make money. Oh, I'm looking at the 2-hour. This gives us a good snapshot. So I'm going to go ahead and start right here with this big movement that probably flushed a whole lot of longs out. Leverage traders just got took right here. Anyway, so let's go ahead and get started. So we're just going to kind of set the boundaries first, and how we do that, we're going to basically make a square, all right, an open-ended square, a three-sided square. All right, so let's go ahead and give our vertical point, which is the time. All right, so we can see that this 2-hour candle, that's what each candle represents, is a 2-hour time frame. Okay, that the bottom of this candle happened on the 10th of November, all right, around 2 o'clock. So that gives us our backstop. That's where we're starting from. That is where we're going to start placing our angles at. So as you can see right here, it says uptrend, downtrend. So we're going to place angles at the top and the bottom, but with the greater trend that we're looking at from here, all right, from all the way down at 2651, with the general sentiment, with all of the tailwinds, I mean, I'm gonna I think it's safe to assume that we're going to continue our uptrend, but we're always going to have the backstop. We're going to be, always setting up, always setting up. We're making sure that we're using the Rain Man fan's angles, all right, to always know where we are, always know where our support and resistance is on any time frame, on any chart. All right, it's the angles. It's not, this is how it moves on a chart. Most strategies try to capitalize on, what is moving price, as opposed to, the technical aspect, which is where this is, technical trading. This is how it moves. I don't have an answer as to why. It's the energy of the market, but I can tell you with certainty that price moves in accordance with these. And that's what I'm going to try to show you as time progresses. Anyway, so back to the 2 hour, we are in a definite uptrend. Okay, so we're going to continue building our three-sided square. All right, so we're going to go to the top, which is about 48.66, and the bottom of the candle, which about 44.59. Okay, so there we go. This is the three-sided square I was talking about. We got our time backstop. We see where this, we see where our trend changed direction off of this bottom, going back up. All right, we can see the top side where it made that big drop from. So now that we have our backstop, now we can start using our diagram over here of the Rain Man fan. So we pick uptrend, boom, easy enough, right? So we're going to be using the positive angles of the Rain Man fan. We're also going to be setting up the negatives in case, that's our backstop. That's how we know where to set our stop losses and how to, quickly exit a trade if it goes awry. All right, so from the bottom up, we're going to go ahead and get our angle tool out. All right, we're going to line up at the bottom of our candle, and we're just going to go ahead and pull it out and see where we're at. So right now, right off the bat, 36 is what's coming into play. All right, so you can see right here on the positive value of the Rain Man fan, 36 degrees. Okay, so we can see that price obviously is not, I want it to be understood that price, the angles express what price is doing. It's the expression. So therefore, the angle, it's not going to be a perfect line. It's going to be a choppy ride. I mean, we're dealing with crypto, dealing with tech stocks that have a lot of volatility, which is what I'm going to be focusing on, because that's where the money's made. But anyway, so yeah, let's continue on. So we can see that the 36 price action, literally as it sits right now, as I'm recording this video, is coming down on the 36. So if we step back and look, we can see that price shot up. All right, we'll go ahead and do our negative now. We can see the top side resistance. Okay. Oh, what do you know? 36. Okay. So it's safe to assume that price is moving within a 36-degree triangle until it doesn't. All right, so when we see it snug up on the bottom side of this triangle that it's forming, then we drop it down. All right, see where we're going. If we're still in a long, we have to be aware. This is where we're setting our stop losses. All right, so we drop it down to the next 7-degree increment, 29. Oh, still going. Next 7-degree increment, 22. All right, 22. All right, but you can see that it's starting to get some support built up. All right, so you can see that the 15 clearly expresses where the support built up and where we started to move up and actually break out. All right, if we're looking at the 36-degree, but you can't assume that. All right, so because price is still moving, so we're going to move on up. All right, so you can see how the candles react to the minus 22 coming from the top side. Now we have to adjust. All right, so we'll adjust our support down to the 15 like we established. All right, and we're going to move the top side's resistance. We're just going to go ahead and look at where the touch points are on each angle, and that's how we're going to determine. All right, what angle? I mean, it's pretty obvious. You know what I'm saying? I designed it to be really cut and dry, so can't really dispute what you're seeing, to be honest. All right, so if we're going to keep on assuming that we've gone past our 36, which we saw, we broke out of that, bing bang. So now we're working in a triangle consisting of minus 22 coming from the top side, which is, assuming a downtrend. At this point, it's just our resistance. And it looks like we're running on a good support of 15 degrees right here. Okay, so I'm going to stay confident, staying long until we start reaching down here to the 8. So that's where you see the red come into play. Okay, once we're starting to, I'm on alert right now. okay, for this 8, because obviously 15 is our support as it sits right now, but all it takes is a short to come in, knock it down to the 8, and you know, that's where my stop's going to be, at the 8 degree. That's what that red means. Stop. If I'm in a trend and it's getting wild like this, you know, the 8 degree is the cutoff. All right, that's our stop loss. Anyway, so progressing on. All right, so how do we get an overall price prediction out of this? Okay, so how we're going to do that? The 2 hour lets us know, you know, the greater. So I'm seeing it's either going to be a correction down to here, you know, down below the 36, but it's looking tough. It's looking pretty strong right there. I think we could see a breakout right here. Oh. At either, this is the point. This is where I think it's going to make its decision. So make it easy to identify. I think this is the point. Let's see the price point. We're looking at 47.17. So we're already right in that vicinity. But I think right around there is going to be the decision point of whether it's going to go up to the 48.36 that I predicted yesterday, or if we're going to break down lower and start testing the 15 degree, 8 degree, and if we break the 0, then we flip to a downtrend dominant negative value of the Rain Man fan, and then we just repeat the process. You know, we reset our angles at the tops and bottom, which would be here and here. You know, and just keep on going. It is an attention-intensive process. You do have to pay attention. I mean, if you want to trade, you know, this works for investing as well. I mean, long term, you know, you zoom it out to a day, I can tell you exactly what's going to happen. This is how price moves on a chart. I mean, it just is. You know, I built it with that in mind. Like, we're working with a 2D environment, charts are flat, and therefore with that simple thing in mind, you know, price has to adhere to certain properties of the chart, and I think that's what I did in a simple expression with the angles is identify how price moves, not what makes it move, not anything else. With angles, it's how. All right, to my knowledge, nobody's used angles as a method for price prediction. Maybe I'm the first one to do. Who cares if I am? I really don't give a shit. I just think it's fucking cool doing this. I'm not here to put my totals out there because there's too many fake actors out there, and that's not what I'm out here to do. I'm not flaunting my numbers. I'm flaunting angles. All right. I want people to see that, not what I have in my account, not how much ether I have. You actually realize how effective of a tool it is and how it can be used in these point A to point B scenarios. The amount of money you can make on even just a movement of this right here, from this 15 up to this 22, like that's let's see, let's take a look at the price point, man. It's 45.17 to 47.60. I mean, thousands of dollars. Anywho, so now that we have our limits set on the 2 hour time frame, we're going to bump down to the 15 and take a look at what's really going on. All right, so 36, 22. All right, let's bump down to the 15. So this gives us a more accurate view of what's actually happening, you know, down in the trenches. I'll go over, I'm sorry, I'm just whipping around. I'll get into how, you know, the tools and everything I'm using at another point, but this is just, I want to get this out there. So on the 15, all right, so what happens is when you switch views, what happens is the angles are going to change, okay? It's a scaling thing. There's nothing you can do about it. So the great thing about it is that You know, the chart is the chart is the chart. Like I was saying, there's no changing a chart. The properties are the same regardless of what you're trading. Therefore, all you have to do is auto it up. You'll see what your angle's sitting at. All right, so we were using the 36 on the 2 hour. We're going to use the 36 on the 15 as well. So all we do, go over to the bar, bring it up till you hit the 36. That way we're looking at it in the exact same view that we were on the 2 hour, just with more detail, more candles, more information to dissect in order to reach a price point, a price prediction. Okay, so I didn't even touch the top one. You can see that since I adjusted the scaling to the 15-minute for the 36, the 22 is going to obviously fall in line. It's, again, properties of a chart don't change. Doesn't matter what you're trading. Okay, see what we're looking at. All right, so you can see the triangle formation that we're working with. We got our top, we got our bottom side, 36 is the support. Our top side minus 22, all right, as the resistance. All right, lock price to bar ratio. So let's see where we are in terms of this angle. So I'm going to fix that just by doing that. It's easy peasy. All right. So I'm going to switch the 36 to the 22. All right, just so I can get a better view of the candles. All right, and what that should do is switch this to an 8 or 15, 13. All right, so let's go ahead and back over here. It really is this easy. I mean, it's a little labor intensive, you know, but it is what it is. If you want to make money, shut up. Okay, we got our support, we got our resistance. So I'm trying to get to today. All right, screw all that. Getting to today. Okay, today is the 15th of November, so my time backstop goes back to 2:15 this morning. My price point that we're starting the Rain Man fan at, that we're starting to pull our angles from, is 46.71. All right, so from here, let's go ahead and go to our intersection. We find our 90 with the vertical timestamp and the horizontal price line, and that's where we start pulling angles. So let's go to the top, see what we got. All right, so we can see that the top side exhausted out at the 78. Let me go over to our Rain Man fan diagram right there. You can see 78 is a predetermined, okay? Again, this is how price moves on a chart. How price moves on a chart. Not what moves it, not why, not nothing. This is how, right? Get a little mini breakout, but it gets stopped. It gets exhausted at the 78, just so you know. All right, so 7-1. You can see how the candle reacts to the 7-1 angle. Oh, sorry. How it reacts to the 7-1 angle, stops, resets. All right, so let's drop to the 6-4. 6-4. You can see that the 6-4 and our greater minus 15. All right, you can see where they intersect right here and how a green candle does appear. So that's just another confirmation that this upper resistance at the minus 15 is indeed resistance. So that's just a confirmation of resistance for me. The intersection of the 64 and the minus 15. All right, so keep working our way down. Look at that. All right, we're currently stuck at the 50. All right, we bounce down clear to our support, which we've already established is the 22. All right, and that's just another confirmation here that the support is at 22, at the 22 degree. So we can also confirm that from where we set our new parameters, our time and price, that price is still adhering strictly to our angles. So current price action riding the positive 36, the plus 36 right there. Although what I am seeing now, I'm still bullish in nature, but, oh, God dang it. But this right here is the start of what is called a head and shoulders pattern, which is usually bearish in nature, meaning that price is probably going to correct. However, we trade crypto for the most part. When you're trading crypto, you got to assume that what it looks like is going to happen isn't going to happen. Always got to be ready. And you know, the good thing is that the Rain Man fan always lets you be ready. All right, so let's go ahead and show how I'm going to establish the resistance for this new for today. Okay. So I'm actually going to get rid of these so that we don't confuse. We know that we've established those from the 2 hour. All right, so our support right now as it stands in real time, looks like support is built up at the 36, all right, the 36 degree, positive 36 right here. So what we're going to do, go back to our timestamp and see what's going on. So we go to our top side. So even though there's no price action up here, what we're going to do is that's where we're going to pull the angle from. Why? Because we can establish the Rain Man fan anywhere where there's a right angle. It's that simple. You can still trade if this is indeed what's happening. All right, left shoulder, head. So what the likelihood is with the levels here on this shoulder. All right, so you can see that the angles are kind of pointing to where the likelihood of a reversal is going to happen. Follow the shoulder up, I guess, on this one. So I'm going to go ahead and say from exactly where we are now, price point from 46.91, going to follow the 3.6 up to the 47.20. And from there, I believe that we will correct down a little bit to complete. All right, so if we're running on the 36, all right, let's go ahead and go down to the previous level. You can see I'm just going back to this little guy right here with a 36 degree angle. All right, so what I think is going to happen is my prediction is we're going to go follow the 3.6, boom, up to this 47.20 level, and then come back down to this 46.71. And I think after that point, we're going to move up. So my prediction as of right now is going to be 46.71 in this time. So I'm going to come back in a few hours and we'll update.